That's 4 dead lawyers out of 41 in less than 10 years.
And none of them over the age of, what, 45? I mean, that beats the hell out of any life insurance stables I've ever heard about.
Who are you guys?
Tom Cruise plays a young lawyer who discovers his law firm is corrupt in The Firm. One of 5 big new summer movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel Ebert, along with Dennis the Menace and Sleepless in Seattle, a romance with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. Our first movie is The Firm, a long, complicated, and evolving thriller about a young lawyer fighting to save his career and his life. The movie stars Tom Cruise as a recent law school graduate who discovers too late that his dream job in Memphis is with a law firm that is crooked from top to bottom. At first, though, his future looks rosy as he discusses the firm's offer with his wife, played by Jeanne Tripplehorn.
Plus a 5% increase the second year.
Why?
Well, why? Whose side are you on anyway?
Once installed in his high-paying job, Cruise goes out to lunch with a senior partner, played by Jeanne Hackman, who will take him on as his protege.
What about you? What led you to law school?
So far back, I don't think I can remember.
Sure you can, counselor.
I used to caddy for young lawyers off from work on weekdays, and their wives. I'd look at those long tan legs and just knew I had to be a lawyer. The wives had long tan legs, too.
The young lawyer grew up in poverty and is ashamed of his past, and he has a secret the firm doesn't know. His brother, played by David Strathairn, is in prison.
Well, a man from Gentleman's Quarterly.
After a number of suspicious deaths in the firm, FBI agents come to Cruise with a take-it-or-leave-it deal. Either he cooperates in exposing the firm's activities, or his brother stays in prison. In desperation, Cruise turns to a private detective, played by Gary Busey, for help.
Sit down. Sit down. Come on. Sit down. Sit down. You want some sweet low? You want some dairy cream? You want some sugar? You want some...
Eddie, I've got some business I have to go
Good.
here.
I owe your brother my life.
I'm leaving.
Thank you, dear.
But the firm can play hardball, too, as its security chief, Wilford Brimley, who usually plays nice guys but is a real villain this time, threatens Cruise with blackmail.
Here's your Abby, one day walking to the mailbox, anticipating the arrival of her red book, or sharper image catalog. What does she find instead? She finds Heartache Mitch. The death of love and trust.
And that's certainly a new image for Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, he's not selling oatmeal there.
Law offices have provided the settings for a lot of thrillers in the last few years, but rarely one more complicated than The Firm. Director Sidney Pollack takes 2 hours and 33 minutes to tell the story based on the John Grisham novel, and even then, there may be moments when you can't quite figure out the hero's plan to save himself, his career, and his marriage while outsmarting the FBI, the firm, and the firm's evil clients. What helps to get across this tricky material is a first-rate cast. There are good performances by all the actors we've seen, and especially by Ed Harris as a hard-nosed FBI man who offers Cruise a deal only he thinks he can't refuse.
I enjoyed it too, Roger. It does get complicated at the end. At a certain point, I actually gave up and tried to figure out how he was going to juggle all the balls they're doing. I think you, again, got to give Tom Cruise credit. I enjoyed this aspect of the picture. It seemed old-fashioned late in the film when he was on a foot chase. Do you remember that sequence? Yeah. And I thought, I haven't seen a good foot chase in a movie in a long, long time. And I thought that the whole thing was the whole movie was like this, a throwback to the old-fashioned, well-made, constructed Hollywood pictures where you got one guy in this tremendous web. It's partly one of his own making. He's a yuppie. He's interested in money, and he gets punished for it. And I enjoyed the whole project.
Cruise is good in this film, and I haven't really been a fan of his last 2 films. I felt that Far and Away was in particular a bad decision. And now he's back in form again. He is a good actor, and we forget that because he's such a big star that sometimes you take him for granted. Oh, there's Tom Cruise. But he has a lot of stuff that he has to do in this film, and he's surrounded by a first-rate cast. And I didn't give up. I kind of kept trying, and then finally, when he lays it out in that hotel room meeting at the end of the film, I could sort of. I mean, I don't know if I could pass the test when I walked out of the movie, but at least he got everything he wanted, I guess.
He reminded me sort of a young Paul Newman, actually, in the picture, and he was not afraid to look like a little bit of a jerk at times in the film. I thought he did a real good job.